Fire can bring people together. Friends sitting around a campfire, the crackle of burning cedar becomes the soundtrack to reminiscing memories. Kids tearing open gifts to burning birchwood, humming in the fireplace on Christmas morning, while parents settle into couches with Irish coffees, Irish eggnogs, and all sorts of Irish drinks. Fire can burn inside of us. Our passions fuel the creative fires that allow us to create movies, stories, or a true crime podcast. Fire can raze an entire forest, leaving a black and smoldering path of devastation in its wake. Fire is unpredictable. Living in Canada means living with wildfires. Some are still breathing under the snow all winter long, waiting for the thaw. In the summer of 2024, 25,000 people were evacuated from Jasper National Park in Alberta, Canada, due to wildfires. Fire is natural. It is a basic element of this world, one which has helped humans evolve and survive to where we are now. But then again, many things are harmless and natural until humans decide to harness them. Arson is the criminal act of deliberately setting fire to property. On September 1st, 1972, while paying customers danced and drank the night away at the Bluebird Cafe and the Wagon Wheel Bar in Montreal, Quebec, Gilles Eccles, James O'Brien, and Jean-Marc Boutine set the venue ablaze using gasoline. What could possibly cause someone to deliberately set a place with 200 people inside on fire? So open your eyes and gaze into the abyss as we delve deeper into Canada's crawl space.
We interrupt our program to bring you this important message.
Breaking news, a school shooting with reports of multiple fatalities, this time in Santa Fe,
20
Texas.
to 24 people dead. At least 59 now dead. More than
possible school shooting at Saskatchewan in Canada.
A suspected serial killer in Toronto. The 66-year-old landscaper Bruce McArthur facing 5 counts of first-degree murder.
Serial killer. John Paul Osterman has been charged with murder.
The number of fatalities we don't know.
Oh, fuck off.
Fantastic.
Welcome to 2025.
Oh, God. And episode 1
of the revitalization.
What episode would it be? Like 23?
Yeah, something like that. I'm not putting them all out. Oh, maybe I shouldn't say that. Maybe it should be like an Easter egg. You got to listen to this one to find out that it's an Easter egg now. No one mentioned it again. There's hints about like what episode number and stuff like that in the episode, so okay. People will be like, wait, this isn't that one.
Yeah, I like the mystery.
Right.
Welcome back to Canada's Crawl Space. It has been, what, 7 years?
Yeah, since 2018.
We survived a pandemic. We survived.
We did, yep.
Well, I don't know if we've survived our prime minister yet. We'll see. He's not out yet. We'll see how that goes.
I'd like to think we will.
I think we'll be fine. I don't worry about his replacement.
Well, I'm just more so worried about what happens, when the tariffs come in and our recession hits.
With our new president to the south?
Yes. Where's their dollar at right now? 60 cents? Less?
I don't know, but yeah, there's a lot less buying online due to it.
We're a lot older now, guys.
We only care about the foreign exchange rate now.
Financial futures are our future.
You know, I really wish I would have invested in Bitcoin in 2012 when I first heard about Bitcoin, I was part of a mixed martial arts forum, and a guy made a post saying like Bitcoin, invest and all this, and we laughed, and we said, who the fuck would invest in a digital currency that you can't actually physically hold? But then I guess the same could be said for all the money in your bank. It's not good to you until it's out of the bank.
Mm-hmm. If they have the money to give to you.
Yeah, it would take society agreeing on like the majority agreeing on this is what we're going to do now, I think, or just some really evil motherfuckers who want to take over.
Absolutely. But so in 2012, when I heard about Bitcoin for the first time, it was $14 per Bitcoin. And now I believe it's 100,000 per Bitcoin.
Yeah, they're doing pretty good.
Yeah. So fuck me, right?
No, fuck all of us.
And that's why we're here.
Please support the show.
Instead of murdering, we're going to talk about murder.
I've learned a lot about sponsorships in these 8 years and who's willing to sponsor pretty much anything. So Raid Shadow Legends, if you're out there, we're looking for a sponsor. Or Honey, I know you're in trouble right now. We'll take you.
What's wrong with Honey?
Oh, Honey, they got caught embezzling money from their content creators that would advertise them.
Oh.
You get a unique ID that you send out to these people that download Honey, and Honey was replacing the creators' IDs with their own so that they wouldn't have to pay the creators.
Mm-hmm.
Shit. Breaking news on Canada's crawl space.
You heard it here. Maybe first. Maybe nobody else.
My first.
Yes,
my
first
first.
for me. Hawk to a girl, you're in trouble too. If you
Oh,
want to sponsor us.
God.
Hawk
Yeah.
to a coin.
Yeah.
Hawk, if you want to sponsor us, I don't know if she's got any money for that.
Just take all the worst ones
We'll
in
take-
the,
we'll
in
take-
the worst
we'll take
issue.
the worst
They
people
have
who
the
are-
worst issues going on right now. We'll take you.
69 cents is our dollar. I will take
I'll keep it there.
anybody.
I'm good with that.
Anybody shrouded in controversy. Any sponsor shrouded in controversy. We are not picky. We'll take you. We'll suffer with you. We'll.
I
go
got
through the
some
bad times.
standards.
For now.
No, anybody. Rumble, if you're out there, Rumble, we'll
that?
get you. Rumble's like the conservative YouTube. It's like the right wing YouTube.
No, I don't want to do that. They got a lot of money, but I don't want to do
I don't
that.
know if they have a lot of money. I can't imagine they have a lot of money.
Well, I feel like-
Dogecoin?
Yeah, Doge. Remember when Elon Musk went on SNL and he was like, and everybody was super stoked because he was gonna fucking pump Dogecoin, and then it just tanked after he mentioned it because everybody realized how uncool he was.
Yeah.
Because before that, Elon Musk was like just like an eccentric billionaire that did dumb shit, and then everybody's like, wow, he's also not funny. So
I wish I had his flamethrower, though, not gonna lie.
his flamethrower is literally just a roofing torch.
I still don't have one.
Well, I know, but if you get a roofing torch, you've got his flamethrower essentially.
There you go.
Well, I know a guy who's a roofer.
I got a flamethrower every day for the most part.
Nice.
Welcome back.
Welcome back, guys.
For the third time.
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
Ariana Grande. What the fuck is up with that, huh?
I don't have a clue.
I'm not up to date.
Well, she's just an enigma. She's
Wrapped in a mystery.
She is absolutely. At one point in time, she was a little white girl. Then she was Mexican, and then possibly black, and now white again. She is always
Racially fluid?
constantly changing. Yeah, absolutely. Racially fluid is the correct terminology here.
I mean, you change when you get older, but maybe she just tans, and now she's just like baked.
Well, she
crispy.
Yeah,
you know?
maybe eventually she like balanced out.
She's
and,
got to
like,
go
reaches
spend some time in
her-
Russia or something. What? I'm
Well,
just
no,
kidding.
she's like white. She's like
probably
super
wouldn't.
white now. Like she's.
Oh, she went the other. Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, she was white.
I see. This is how up to date I am.
I think she's white, isn't she? Ariana Grande is white.
We might not be.
I'm
You're
pretty
asking
sure.
the wrong.
we might not be the ones who should be discussing this
Generally doesn't fall into my music forte.
on a true crime podcast, especially. Yeah, Ariana Grande never shows up on
True crime.
my spot.
That either.
No, she'd probably sue you. Anyways.
Find out she has a stalker from Canada, and then we'll do an episode on her.
Yeah, right.
Or you could be that stalker.
I watched a crime beat on Amanda Todd yesterday, and that was pretty entertaining, pretty intense.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Her, the guy that was blackmailing her and sextorting her, he was in Norway. And then they extradited him to Canada to face his charges. He was convicted, then sent back to Norway to serve his sentences, so I don't know where that is now.
Shit.
Yeah, that was a terrible story.
But apparently he did it to, like, several girls.
Mm-hmm.
Like many, many girls. And then they all... But the RCMP at one point in time said that they weren't even going to press it. They weren't even going to actually... Because the IP was tracing into the U.S., and they said it would take too many resources at that point in time to even deal with it. So they didn't.
Right.
For many years.
Well, I'm glad they did eventually.
Yeah, eventually. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That could be a story for another day, the Amanda Todd story.
Yeah.
That is.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like I've mentioned her on an episode before. But it was like 8 or 9 years ago now. Or 7 or 8. Whatever it was.
Yeah, well, we started in 2016, finished up in 2018.
Yeah.
The rebirth of the crawl space.
Had started breathing.
It's still dank and dingy down there.
We crawled out of the crawl space and then back into the crawl space.
It was hard to get out.
Easier to get back in, yes.
Much easier. We're almost 40 now. We got a couple of years to go. I guess you just turned 38.
I am above the 40.
Yeah, you're above. Yeah,
okay,
Jesse
so
is.
Well above the 40.
Yeah.
Grandpa.
I know. You could be my dad.
How do you know I'm not?
He was like 6 or 7.
I could be my 6-year-old father.
How do I know?
I don't remember well from that time.
Welcome back.
Again, welcome back, yes.
What are we talking about today?
Well, we're going to talk about the Bluebird Cafe fire.
And Wagon Wheel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and the Wagon Wheel bar.
Not to be confused. Hey, Wagon Wheels or Viva Puffs? You guys?
Neither.
What do you mean neither?
Honestly.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
I'd go Wagon Wheel, especially if it has the jelly.
Yeah, but Viva Puffs have jelly. Raspberry, strawberry.
Are they the smaller ones?
They're the smaller dome. They're like not geodesic, but it's like just like a...
They're a puff.
Yeah,
they're a puff, yeah.
I think I'd go Wagon Wheel still.
Not the right answer.
Says who? Well, you don't get to control my...
If you're out there listening, you let me
taste
know.
Buds.
Wagon Wheels or Viva Puffs? Let me know who's right.
Jesse, neither.
No, that is a terrible answer.
You got to... No, you don't like... You don't... What is it, the marshmallow?
No, the marshmallow's fine. Like the Wagon Wheel, it is the little bit of... Don't they have graham?
Yeah, there's
graham.
graham.
Yeah, and that
Delicious,
doesn't do it. And then
graham.
the Viva Puffs, it's the jelly. I don't know. It's just nothing but sugar.
Yeah, that's the point.
Yeah, I'd rather have a chocolate bar.
You heard it here first, folks.
The controversy begins already.
Hates Wagon Wheels and Viva Puffs.
Right at the beginning of 2025.
I'll die on that hill.
All right, let's just get into a little bit. All right, Montreal, Quebec, 1972. What was going on in Montreal during this time?
I don't know, Sean. Tell us.
Well,
let us know.
I'll okay. I'll get into it.
Just hurry the fuck up and let us know, okay?
All right. Well, in July, you could have caught the Rolling Stones at the Montreal Forum. 1972 was the Montreal Expo's 4th season in the history of the franchise, and they finished 5th in the National League East.
I have no idea. Like, I'm not a baseball historian at all, but I thought they were older for some reason.
I don't know anything about baseball. I just mentioned it because it's pretty popular.
There you go.
I'm going to hashtag this.
Well,
baseball.
you guys are in luck.
Sport.
Because there's one thing I know, and it's not baseball either.
We're all in agreement.
Welcome back to This Ain't Baseball. All right. The 1972 to 73 NHL season saw the Montreal Canadiens win their 18th Stanley Cup in the club's 64th season.
There we go.
Yeah, they've been... Oh, because they were one of the original ones, right?
Yeah.
Okay, the Skylight Caper. In the wake of this tragedy, the largest museum art heist, or the tragedy that we're going to be talking about today, the largest...
The Skylight Caper.
Took place. But we're talking about the Bluebird. You know? Stop
and
trying
the Wagon Wheel.
Stop trying to fuck me up. All right. In the wake of this tragedy, the Bluebird Cafe, the largest museum art heist in Canadian history was pulled off on September 4th, 1972. Multiple masterpieces, including a Rembrandt, were snatched off the wall, never to be seen again. Never.
Private library.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. The robbery took place shortly after midnight. An individual wearing picks on their boots climbed up a tree on the west side of the Montreal Museum. If anybody, they probably have better guards now. This was Museum of Fine Arts. Michael and Renat. I'm also going to butcher most French words, just so everybody knows too.
Me too. Just so everybody knows.
Yeah. I try.
Jesse,
I will
I'll
try.
do fine.
Jesse worse than
Yeah, I will give it the old college go. Okay, I'll just start over for that one. So he was wearing picks on his boots and climbed up a tree on the west side of the Montreal Museum of Fine Arts, Michael and Renata Hornstein Pavilion on Sherbrooke Street West.
Well, now somebody's going to break in there again because you told them where it is.
Exact spot.
I'm assuming they've removed the tree.
Probably. The tree was the culprit.
It's even bigger now and
bushier.
bushier.
Behind bars.
They should look inside the tree.
It's got a gate around him. Where was I? Okay, so the this was the museum's only pavilion at the time, and the culprit lowered a ladder down to two accomplices. The cat burglars? The cat burglars were believed to be men. Two of them spoke French, and the third spoke English.
What a weird coincidence.
Yeah. This is almost like this one.
I speak English.
I also speak English.
I do too.
It could have been us. Any of us. Any one of us.
That was like 50 years ago, though.
That could have been Jesse then.
I'm not that old.
It's not that old.
I would have been -8 at that point.
All right, the case. So on September 1st, 1972, Labor Day long weekend, the Bluebird Cafe was set on fire. The Bluebird Cafe was more of a socializing cocktail lounge. It was located on the west side of Union Street between St. Catherine Oest. Oest.
I would say we.
Oest?
You would be wrong.
We.
West.
West. Oost.
And Dorchester, now called... You want to go, Jesse?
René Levesque.
Maybe I'll just give you all that. Holy crap, I didn't realize how good you are at this.
He's just a fluent French speaker. Just fucking
not at all.
Oh, I was about to say, are you? How did I not know this?
Because I'm not.
Yes, okay. Yeah, in downtown Montreal. Above the Bluebird resided a country western bar called the Wagon Wheel. Both places were popular with working class English drinking or English speaking youth. They only drank English drinks too. You get out of here, Ireland. Oh God. English speaking youth as a destination for an evening of music, dancing, and drinking.
English drinking.
The weather in Montreal on September 1st, 1972 saw a balmy high of 29.4, which was about 83 Fahrenheit, and a low of 17.8 degrees Celsius, which is about 64 Fahrenheit. Sounds pretty perfect for a long weekend, and it also sounds like, is global warming a thing? Because that's beautiful weather for September, guys, and that was 50 years ago.
Ridiculous.
We are recording this when it is like -40 with the wind chill out right now.
It's so cold.
Advertisement. What you are about to hear are actual events that transpired September of 1972 between very young Scottish and French men in a fucking nightclub that indeed did occur. What you are about to hear are actual audio clips that were captured by technology that definitely existed in 1972. Enjoy, and be aware that this may fuck you up completely.
Who's on the toilet? Comment t'appelles tous?
That's too expensive.
Je suis fromage à jambon. Bien, très bien.
Oh, fromage?
Ta-da-na?
Who's on the toilet? Who's on the toilet? Comment t'appelles tous?
Too expensive.
Il y a retard.
Good evening, gentlemen. Can I see some IDs, please? You know, it's funny, the abbreviation ID, isn't it? It's short for identification, right? So the I stands for I, and the D stands for identification. Seems like the D is doing some heavy lifting there, doesn't it? Sorry, I'm working on a tight 5.
You hear that, fellas? Circles as gentlemen. Ho ho! So proper, monsieur. But tut, these two scoundrels are far from being gentlemen. I can tell you that much.
So says the worst scoundrel of us all, Gilles.
IDs, please.
I'm older than the hills. Do you think I'm some wee lad needing permission to have a drink?
Hey, how much you fellas had to drink tonight?
Is that any way to talk to paying customers, mon ami? We started the night many hours ago, and as you can see, our 3 of us are still standing on our own volition, my good sir.
Yeah, but of course this is true, Gilles. Now, if you would kindly let us through, my dear sir.
Guys, it's simple. We are close to capacity, and you have all clearly had enough to drink for one night.
Sacre bleu! What is this? How dare you deny us entry into this establishment?
Yeah, what the heck there, lad? What gives?
You heard me. I can't let you guys in. Turn around and come try again tomorrow. If you're not too hungover.
Hold me back, boys. You have not seen the last of us, you scoundrel. We'll be back. You'll be sorry.
You'll be sorry. Liam sounded older than all of us.
I know. I mean, isn't that crazy that we got a hold of that? That, like, somebody was recording that night? It's crazy that we found that. That was exactly what was happening.
I am shocked. I am shocked that technology existed back then.
It's good to have friends in the Montreal Police Force.
Absolutely. As I was saying, climate change isn't real. Earth is flat. What else?
The Earth is hollow as well as
flat.
flat.
I like that. I like a flat, hollow Earth. I like that. Birds
It's like a wagon wheel with no marshmallow in it.
I'll accept that. Just like a...
I like a waffle Earth better. You can fill in all the little...
Pop-Tart Earth?
The hot dog
Pop-Tart
shape.
Earth.
Toaster strudels. Toaster strudels. Any of you guys had toaster strudels recently?
Not in a while.
Yep.
The fucking packs are so absurdly small now. You don't even get enough of the filling to even cover the toaster strudel anymore.
Shrinkflation.
Mm-hmm.
Here we go.
Ridiculous. Just like climate change.
All right.
Just gonna gloss over that.
Hey, I'm not a police officer.
I hope not. Jesse might be.
He's texting somebody right now.
He's
go.
Get it.
Wait till after the recording's done, then pick him up on the way home.
All right. September 1st was the Friday of the Labor Day long weekend in 1972. Just like any other weekend in Montreal at the time, the Bluebird / Wagon Wheel bar was packed with more than 200 people out enjoying the first night of the long weekend. At 10:45 p.m., Don Bedard and drummer Eddie Crevier would that be?
Probably
Come
Crevier.
on, tell me.
I'd say Crevier.
You know the French accent pretty well. Well, they were well into their second set of the night as the live band at the Wagon Wheel. Outside, a crowd of patrons and staff members alike mingled while smoking and enjoying the remnants of a dry and hot summer night. Up the wooden stairs to the bar's front door stumbles Gilles Eccles, Jean-Marc Boutine, and James O'Brien. Sorry.
Fucking God. John, you
Sean also has had more than...
Yes. All three having had more than their fair share of booze that night.
We're drinking Chinese beer. Just so you know.
You are? What is that? What's it called?
Sing Tao.
Sing Tao.
Any Chinese restaurant you go to, you just say, "Can I get a Sing Tao?" And they go to the back and they get you one because it's the only beer they sell.
Nice.
Just
All
so
right,
you know.
Noted.
Yeah. All right. They were described as extremely intoxicated.
China's not real. Just so you know.
You heard it here, folks. Guys.
Don't believe it, but you heard
Guys.
it.
First, this is news.
This is breaking. This is
breaking
just
news.
Breaking. China
I'll have a little,
is not real.
I'll have a little. Well, actually, there's a page on Facebook I follow that has me convinced that Canada is a giant hoax.
I know. I think I'm in that.
I like that
page
one
as well. Yes.
I agree, and I call everybody out.
Canada kind of is a giant hoax, like the most base level.
Pretty much.
Yeah, we're failing as a country, but that's okay.
Well, just like these guys, they were denied entry.
Can I rewind a little bit back into earlier in their day?
Yes, for sure.
Eyewitness report from them was the three of them were just hammered driving the bases in a local baseball diamond in their car. They were having lots of fun that day.
Yeah.
I hit a home run! Woo!
Baseball was huge in Montreal in 1972. That's for sure.
Oh yeah. When the are Expos still around? I don't even know.
I think so.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I haven't thought about baseball since I wrote this.
Fair.
All right. So they weren't let into the bar, obviously, and that didn't sit well with the three drunks. They wanted to get the doorman fired. Huh? So,
ooh, that's a good pun right there.
So they hopped back into their car, drove to a nearby gas station, purchased 50 cents worth of gas, and went back to the Bluebird Cafe.
So what was 50 cents worth of gas in 1972?
Probably a lot.
Oh, that was a lot. Yeah, shit.
No,
man.
it can't be that much. What's inflation from 1972 to 2025? I mean, in Canadian dollar, our dollar was probably worth a lot more back then.
That was
I bet
probably
you
liters.
It was probably like at least a liter or a little bit more.
I worked at a gas station late 90s.
Me too.
And
early 2000s.
Yeah, it was less. It was 74 cents a liter at that point. And that was in 99. So
I was
50 cents 25 years before that would have been nothing.
Right.
Or 50 cents would have been everything, I mean.
Oh, yeah. I was 16 getting yelled at by people for the price of gas going up from like 79 to 85.
Mm-hmm.
Hey,
I didn't do
that's
this.
That's true. You could get 50 cents. Okay. The value of a 1972 Canadian dollar would be $100. No? What? No.
That doesn't make
About $100.
Let's go back to 1972.
The Canadian dollar has lost 86% of its value since 1972.
Cheapers. And fuel also been way cheaper too.
So $100 in 1972 is equivalent in purchasing power to about $737 today. Isn't that insane?
Yeah, that is.
So 50 cents is like a full fucking tank. Wow.
So that's quite a bit.
Mm-hmm. So they bought a lot of gas is what we're saying.
Wow.
How much? We don't know, but a lot.
A lot. 50 cents.
I should have done this research.
50 cents worth.
50 cents worth of gas.
Well, you know what? Anybody that's listening is going to be like, well, what the fuck is 50 cents now?
Yeah, I know.
What is 50 cents going to get me now? But
it would still be enough to set this place on fire. It was a wooden staircase.
Oh, well, 50 cents, they could probably fucking dump that from a helicopter if that's the case. Like 50 cents worth of gas is significant.
But even today...
50 cents worth of gas would be
just
enough.
like
Well,
even
it's
if it's
300
just like a
milliliters. You get a Coke bottle full of gas.
I have a great story before we continue. I was at the beer store this morning. Not this morning. That sounds bad. This afternoon.
Alcoholic.
I was grabbing.
And then I went back.
I was grabbing some beer. I had my son with me, and he looks and he says, "Hey, what's cocaine?" I said, "What do you mean?" He said, "Cocaine. They used to put that in Coca-Cola." And I said, "Yeah, that's true. They did used to put cocaine. But what made you think of cocaine?" He says, "It says cocaine right there." And I looked and I was like, "That's kokanee. It says kokanee."
So now you had to give the cocaine spiel when you didn't really have to.
I was like, "Oh, well, I guess we're having the talk."
Just
Well,
slightly.
it can be a fun time.
That just brought to mind a story with Sean's son, actually.
Oh, shit.
We were at my son's soccer game. We're going to have a barbecue back here afterwards, and I came back to see how many burgers we had just to make sure. So it was myself, Sean, and his son, Liam. We're walking, and Liam goes to me, "Jesse, how do a pig and a frog have sex?" And I just looked at Sean. I was like, what? And I was like, "What are you talking about?" He's like, "Well, Kermit the Frog and Miss Piggy." I was like, "Oh, that makes way more sense now."
He was thinking. He was trying to critical think it in his head.
I was just like, why did he ask me, though, not his dad?
Well, I mean,
just testing out the comedy chops, maybe.
Yeah,
well, what does a frog's penis look like?
I don't know.
Anybody ever see a frog's penis? Do they have penises? They gotta have penises, right?
well, how do they fertilize
do
an
they
egg,
just
I
like
guess?
do they just kind of like squirt out their semen into the water?
I don't know.
Biology questions, we don't know.
Any
But
biologists out there?
the government's
that can let
making
us
them
know.
gay. So
Turning the frickin' frogs gay.
they are.
Alex Jones got fucking destroyed, and he lost
Yeah.
everything, and he lost.
He lost InfoWars.
And the Onion purchased it.
Yep.
The Onion.
I think that's
which is
awesome.
hilarious.
That's
So
fantastic.
they just turned
is-
InfoWars into like a satire, which it already was satire for the most part, but now it's extra satire.
Extra salty satire.
All right, sorry, Dave.
No, that's okay. All right. So apparently Eccles had passed out as soon as they started towards the gas station. I read that he didn't remember where the gas had come from. That was one of his defenses.
Where the fuck did he think it came from? The air? The
Didn't
gas
know which
ferry?
gas station.
The gas
They were
ferry
pretty
boat?
drunk. So, I don't know.
He was just extra drunk.
Yeah, probably. More burps. All right. The Montreal Gazette reported that, quote, witnesses say 3 men jumped out of a gray car, rushed up the stairs, and run down them again. This was exact quote. That's why. And run down them again just seconds before the flames engulfed the entire entrance of the building. All right. I got to first establish how little people cared about fire safety in Canada in the 1970s. Because it was awful. Like, so much of this wouldn't have happened today, obviously. But fire regulations in Montreal and most of Canada in 1972 were abysmal, and the Bluebird and Wagon Wheel were a great example of why we needed to get better. City building codes and fire regulations were often conflicting, which left the upstairs bar, the Wagon Wheel, without enough exits. Because of this, there was one single exit and entrance into the bar, and it was up a set of wooden stairs, which were now on fire. Obviously, one exit is not sufficient for 200 people to safely get out of the second floor of a burning building. The only other exit was locked from the outside, while a set of stairs was blocked by a stove, so that according to club owner Leopold Perret, Corey, you want to quote that? That's right. It's a French dude, right?
Here I have.
Oh, do you have it?
I have the goods.
We're on page 2 here. Or Jesse's got it there.
According to club owner, the Montreal.
Leopold
I'm
Perret.
just catching up. Leopold Perret.
Yeah.
Now say his line.
Oh, I gotta say his line.
Yeah. Let's remember you always did.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, that is my job, isn't it? It's been a while.
Dance monkey.
It's been a while. Thank you, Stained.
people couldn't get in without paying the entrance fee.
Yeah, I don't know.
And
just
yeah,
didn't
like I
really-
said,
he wanted
probably
money,
hit
right?
just like everywhere else was probably the same way.
Yep.
It's like, it's not going to happen to me. I just want to keep the dollars coming in. It's all going to be good.
Well, he was just trying to prevent people from sneaking in, I guess, by blocking every entrance
Yeah.
but one.
For sure, which I often did at a lot of bars.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
myself.
absolutely.
So not in Montreal. I've never been to gay Canada. is that culturally?
Well,
Probably.
the French are gay, so I guess that's...
Pink is shutting down
okay.
this weekend.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Apparently,
that's right, I
Yeah,
heard.
oh, well.
How did they stay open as
Oh,
long
well.
as they did?
That guy was terrible, wasn't he?
Yeah,
I
was he?
heard.
He was a sexual pervert, like a sex pervert, yeah. He was like an assaulter of...
Yep. Yeah, he
people.
Yeah, assaulted drunk boys.
Mm-hmm.
So how the fuck did they even stay open for, like, as long as they have? 'Cause-
Somebody else was running it.
Well, I know, but, like, even at that point...
Yeah, you'd think change the name or something.
Well, I don't know. Like, do you still... Like, I don't know. Like, Koi Inc.
I didn't
Did
know
you
why
see all
people
that
were-
controversy
Oh, yeah.
surrounding Koi Inc.?
Yeah.
Like, there's not... Who the fuck would go get a tattoo from Koi Inc. now? You might as well pack it in. Like,
Yeah.
They had a terrible
awful.
reputation before. Now it's just
Nothing.
Yeah.
There shouldn't be one anymore, really. Or well, there should be a reputation, but nothing good. Nothing that would say like, I need to get my tattoo by this sexual
You're right.
deviant.
Terrible.
well. I
person.
don't. Was he a sexual deviant?
Yeah, he was charged and convicted of sexual assault in 2002.
Oh, I
believe
didn't
it
know. I
was,
just
yeah.
read
Yeah.
about the him being a complete asshole.
No,
listened
he
to the
was like,
audio.
he's an
It goes-
actual he's an actual rapist as well. So but he kept tattooing people. No, I guess everybody forgot he was a rapist, and then he's just been tattooing people since.
happens.
Yeah,
Fucking terrible.
Like,
sometimes it's pretty hard,
Yeah.
to remember
It's-
people.
there's
as
definitely
rapists.
not enough in the news about shit, and people don't have
No.
to wear a stamp.
It's true.
but he was also doing a shitty job of it. Like a friend of ours owns Mama Tried Tattoo Smith, and they would get so many people coming there to fix up his fuck ups.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
See,
Alright.
that's why I don't have any tattoos. I'm just afraid my tattoo artist will be a rapist, piece of shit. So I say, well, I just
There can't be two of you in the same room.
If I'm the rapist piece of shit and you're the rapist piece of shit. What are the odds?
Oh God. Oh fuck. All right. According to Don Bedard, it was Eddie Crevier, the drummer, who first stood up and yelled fire, followed by immediate panic. Now, with the fire quickly creeping its way towards the crowded bar, patrons had to desperately seek out other ways of escaping the building. With exits being locked and blocked, people were forced to fight their way through the kitchen to a folding fire escape, which had its exit chain shut, or through a women's bathroom window and dropping about 20 feet onto a parked car.
Like, can you imagine what those shitty options are? It's just like, well, I guess breaking a leg, maybe. Maybe that's all that's going to happen.
I like the odds of 20 feet on a parked car, though. I was just talking about this the other day, like the amount of absorption that of a parked car, like hitting the hood of a parked car, like not the hood, but like the top of the car.
the roof.
It would absorb so much impact. I feel like you'd have pretty good odds. Like you wouldn't. I don't think you'd be walking necessarily, but you'd live.
20 feet would be okay, right?
Yeah, you just like
Be like
collapse.
How is that like two? Is that like the second?
That's the if it's 20 feet up, so that's like
Oh, I guess it's
you're on the
maybe
third floor, basically.
Double the garage that I've jumped off.
Yeah,
basically.
I like the odds of hitting a parked car at 20 feet.
It's
and
better
surviving.
than the concrete.
Better
or
than-
Yeah.
cement,
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah.
but still.
But cars were made different back then too. That was like straight fucking industrial steel. Like it was like tank steel.
Right.
It's not like nice, soft, absorbent aluminum.
like my Hornet. That was a good.
I remember that car.
That was
yeah.
terrible. No heat.
No. Spacious trunk.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, good times. All right. Andre Mainville, a former detective with the Montreal Police Service, said, "Do you want to do this one too?"
Absolutely,
He's
I do.
He's a former detective.
Andre Mainville.
Andre Mainville. I'm just trying to find it again. I keep. kill him.
Just make some sounds.
Pay no attention. This is my scanning noises.
We're getting back into
I'm
it.
good. Andre Mainville, a former detective with Montreal Police Service, said, I saw the big ball of fire. Dun, 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 dun. So I went and tried to help people.
Man's a damn hero.
Yeah. Mainville rushed to the scene where people were screaming, others were on fire, which he immediately got to work trying to extinguish with his coat. George Lancia was inside the wagon wheel during all of this. He told the Montreal Gazette there was, you want to do this one?
There was lots of pitch black smoke, then a lot of heat, and then a lot of yellow light. We knew it was a fire, and everyone began to panic. There were so many people on the fire escape that the railing broke. People were falling from the sky almost.
They literally were. It wasn't almost.
Yeah.
It was full on.
Yeah. More than 50 firefighters fought the Bluebird Cafe blaze, 5 of which were injured by smoke inhalation. The self-contained breathing apparatus or scuba.
Apparapist, what?
I thought the same thing, but I was like, I'm not going to make it.
I tried to just gloss over it, tried to get to the other side, but nope.
We're here to drag you back down.
Yeah, that's okay.
He's just thinking about rape now. That's all he can think about.
It's not even this case. Nothing like that.
The coying case.
Yeah. All right. So, anyways, that's called scuba, right? Was a relatively new practice in 1972, so the fire teams probably weren't fully protected. They weren't equipped.
Apparently, most of the people died from smoke inhalation, which is generally in most fires.
Yeah, right. By 2:30 a.m., the fire was brought under control, with the smoldering remains being extinguished by daybreak. And luckily, witnesses were able to give Detective Mainville a description of Eccles, Boutine, and O'Brien, along with a license of the car they were driving.
That's smart.
Yeah, right. So by 3:30 a.m., Gilles Eccles was found and arrested in his home, while a manhunt was on for the other 2. After an exhausting 2-week cross-country search, Boutine and O'Brien were found in Vancouver, BC, which is about a 46-hour drive from Montreal.
So how they were found was entire happenstance. They were at they were at a drug dealer's house, and somebody called in this house for dealing drugs out of it. The police raided it, and they happened to be in the house during the police raid. Like, they weren't caught because they were looking for them. It was just, oh shit, we got these guys.
Lucky.
Yeah,
that's fun.
Luckies. All right. Boutine and O'Brien both pled guilty to second-degree murder, while Eccles, having not fled Quebec, pled guilty to manslaughter. All 3 were sentenced to life, and all 3 were paroled by 1989. It's not too long, eh? During the inquiry in 1972, James O'Brien said...
I feel like we should get Liam on the phone.
I know, we should have got Liam. I don't think I'll be able to get him on the horn.
I'll try.
We didn't mean to kill anyone. We only wanted to scare the doorman. The only person I was mad at was the doorman. I wasn't mad enough to kill him.
God, that would have been good, too. But that was great. Yeah.
Fucking Liam. Where are you, Liam? Where are you?
In our moment of need.
Right. I didn't even realize that. Would have been a great idea, though. Okay, so the aftermath. The original reports from the tragedy were stating that 42 people died. However, after the investigation, it was determined that 37 clubgoers lost their lives, while 54 others were injured. Bodies of people were found in the bathrooms, huddled in a corner of the bar, and clustered together in the rear section of the club, close to a shut and locked back entrance.
That's terrible.
Awful. Could you imagine coming across that? Stricter fire regulations, without any dumbass conflicting building codes, spread across Canada when news of the Bluebird Cafe was reported.
Like, at least something positive came out of it. Like, it sucks that many people had to die, but it did make lasting changes that probably have saved people's lives since.
Right. A lawyer had tried to get a $9 million lawsuit filed against the Montreal Fire Department and the bar owner Leopold Perret and the building's owner. The defense was led by Montreal's mayor, Jean Drapeau.
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 He dropped poo.
Drapeau. All right. Because people suck and the system sucks, the families eventually settled for a measly settlement of $1,000 to $3,000 per victim.
So yeah, that same mayor was famous for like reaching out to celebrities to try and bring them to Montreal. He really wanted to raise Montreal's profile, but did it at the cost of basically anybody who wasn't a star.
Oh, geez.
Like he wiped out neighborhoods, cut down a bunch of trees to, which I don't understand how cutting down trees beautifies the city, but yeah, did a bunch of massive sweeping changes in Montreal to try and raise its profile, but hindered the poor people and like actively fought against this lawsuit, probably because it made Montreal look bad. But at the same time, he was paying out millions of dollars to contractors for the Olympic Stadium that was riddled with corruption. Like so much money was wasted, so many pockets were lined that didn't go into building that stadium.
Right.
So, not a saint, this mayor.
No. So on August 31st, 2012, the city unveiled a memorial to mark the 40th anniversary of the tragedy, followed by a mass and a march held by the families of the victims on September 1st. Nadine Towers lost two sisters in the fire, Judith Ann Towers and Ina Towers. She made the trip to the 50th anniversary from Alberta in 2022. She's quoted in the Montreal Gazette saying, do you want to do
2 years ago, I finally had a breakdown and spent 2 years in trauma counseling. I had 2 sessions of trauma counseling before I came so I could get through this. I live with this every day, the same as all these other people.
So an old lady would sound like that.
Yeah, that's true.
She'd be old, right? Yeah.
Oh, yeah, 50 years later. Yep. Robert Livingstone lost his 19-year-old sister, Linda, to the fire. He told the Gazette,
I'll never forget hearing my mother screaming at 5 o'clock in the morning. It woke me up.
He goes on to say that when Linda didn't catch the bus home that night, a special part of his life was taken away. Also, at the 50th anniversary of the Bluebird Cafe fire, Montreal's interim police chief, Sophie Roy, said, probably Sophie Waugh,
Sophie Waugh,
said,
No one deserves to die that way. These victims are still on our thoughts, even if it has been 50 years. I salute the resilience of the survivors.
All right. So, did these guys just continue with their life after parole and everything?
Well, let's talk about them even getting parole. Anybody who's not from Canada needs to understand that our justice system is like a fucking donkey show, and you don't really get.
It's less hardcore than a donkey show.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like it's nonsense. It's nonsense. You walk in a room and you go, "What the fuck am I looking at?" That's our justice system. So these 3 that were convicted of essentially murdering all those people were out on parole within a decade. I'm choking up.
Or a little bit after over a decade, but yeah.
Well, was it within the decade?
It said they were released in 89.
All 3 of them by 1989.
Okay.
So I don't know who the last one was. Maybe I have it. I don't know. We'll still be going through it. We're going through this stuff right now.
But essentially, yes. Nothing's really changed in that regard. Like our criminal convictions are absurdly light, and we don't really have concurrent. Well, we don't have concurrent life sentences here.
No.
So a life sentence is a life sentence. You could kill 15, 20, 30, 40 people. You get a life sentence, and that is 25 years. And without or with the possibility of parole is all you get.
The only way that they can sort of get away around that is if you get the dangerous offender, then you don't necessarily.
Which is also an absurdly hard designation to get in this country as well.
But like serial killers are probably going to have that. Like, I don't think Robert Pickton was going to get out.
Pickton, he had the ability to go in for parole here.
Yeah,
so he had the ability to get out. They weren't necessarily going to let him out.
That's what I mean.
Yeah, you have to be granted the parole.
They have to, because of our justice system. I actually just did a bunch of research on corporal punishment and when it was abolished and everything.
Yeah.
But just to be given, like, Picton shouldn't have had the possibility of parole in his future at all.
Definitely not.
Nor should most of the people who have been granted.
Yeah, because he was convicted of like 6, right?
Anybody who's listened to us in the past kind of has an idea of how our justice system works. With Carla Homolka, that was another really astonishing one.
Well, that they gave that to her before they realized how involved she was. So that was just her playing the system.
Yes, absolutely. But that's our actual police service saying, let's do this deal even when they shouldn't have as well. It was a terrible deal on our end. Even though she likely would have broken over time regardless. So
possibly.
But I don't know. That's within just over 10 years they sit in jail for this.
Yeah. All right, so according to the Parole Board of Canada, both Jean-Marc Boutine and Gilles Eccles have never violated their release since being out. James O'Brien is a totally different story, though.
Just a hero.
Yeah. So O'Brien was paroled in 1982, so there's a decade for him, and went on to receive 9 charges relating to impaired driving after that. He was convicted of theft, assaulting a police officer, and he was caught growing weed.
He should be fine. I'm going to give him a pass on that one.
Yeah, probably.
The weed one is whatever.
In 2007, James was caught drinking and driving, and at some point in there, he was placed in a halfway house before being paroled again. In 2019, his parole officers were lenient on him when the police were called to his door when neighbors complained about a loud argument happening. Police noticed he was drunk and contacted his PO, who said he could go to AA and submit more frequent urine tests instead of going back behind bars. Then, in July of 2020, in the midst of the old global pandemic, O'Brien was returned to a penitentiary for failing a scheduled piss test. Apparently, O'Brien was at a... Okay. All right, so get this. He goes to a birthday party, and he had some punch. And he said he did not know the punch was spiked until it was too late. He insisted on this.
After my 10th one, I figured out it was spiked.
You know this. If you're that bad, you know the taste of alcohol. He did not. Okay, he insisted on this story, stating, "Do you want to do this one too, Corey?"
Why would I drink when I knew there was a test?
It's called alcoholism.
Yeah, right. Parole officers did not believe him, and as far as I could find, James O'Brien is still behind bars.
Some people just cannot give up a good thing.
Yeah, I mean, you can't sometimes, I guess.
When it's literally led to all of the worst decisions in your life.
I wonder how much of it is like because of
his Irish descent.
His
Scottish descent.
That's true. I didn't even put that in. Yeah. My perspective.
Nature versus nurture, my friend. When you're Scottish.
Or the fact that he helped murder 37
because
people.
He was Scottish? Or because... It's nature versus nurture. Scottish people are psychopaths.
Nature versus nurture. All
you
right.
heard it here first.
Yeah.
Scottish people are not real. You heard it here first.
All right, so
Corey dropping truth bombs.
We've said a few countries aren't real. Heard Finland isn't real too, hey? You heard that one?
Finland isn't real?
Yeah.
Well, not really, no. The fuck is it?
Not really real.
I mean, they're there.
No, like literally, like the conspiracy theory for it is that Japan uses that area for their fishing, or someone uses it for fishing, and is like, no, there's a country there, you can't go through. And that's the bare bones of what I know about it.
That's where we do our whaling.
Basically, yeah.
So I guess, can people go to Finland? Could you be like, I want to go to Finland?
I think you can.
So I feel like it's pretty easy to debunk.
I know, right?
It'd just be like one plane ticket to Finland, please. And they're like, that's like that conspiracy theory where it's like, what's happening in the Arctic?
Oh, yeah.
Nobody's allowed in the Arctic. What's going on there? And then you're like, hey, can I go to the Arctic? They're like, yeah, for sure, buddy. Come on down.
Come on
And then
over.
you're
It's
like,
real cold.
what? Seriously? I can go to the Arctic? It's like, yeah, we'll take you on like an expedition to the Arctic.
There was a flat earther who recently did that.
What?
And because he wanted to go and find out.
I want to see the end of the Earth.
He wanted to see the sun set in the Arctic, and it would do that there apparently. But it doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
It just goes around in a circle. Yeah.
So,
But was it the real Arctic?
I don't know,
it's
right?
funny because like flat Earth started as like a pure like it was a pure scheme. Like it was like a troll job. It was just like something funny, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was like, well, a flat Earth, huh? And then people start fucking taking it serious. Now there's guys that legitimately believe it. It's not even like a troll anymore. It's like there's guys that want nothing more than for there to be a flat Earth.
I like the concept of the ice wall.
Mm-hmm.
Just like
and I read
giants on the other side.
Basically, like because apparently there were giants here and everything. And then I also read somewhere, it might have just been like somebody's fan fiction or something like that, but like Homo sapiens were put here because we couldn't get along with anybody else. So they're like, get the fuck in this prison.
Like off the other side of the ice wall?
Yeah.
Like our interior is we're Australia compared to everybody outside the ice wall.
What do they think would
yeah.
happen, though, if we knew that? So, if, say, there's an ice wall, say there's a flat Earth. Now, what are the ramifications of finding and escalating the ice wall?
What do you mean escalating?
Well, like going over the ice wall.
Scaling.
Escalating. Going up. Escalating. Yeah, escalating going up. Right? Yeah.
Hmm?
Yeah, escalating will work. Fuck you, Jesse.
Wounded.
So NASA goes through all the trouble of like doctoring every single photograph. The government goes through all the trouble of lying about what Earth is, and for what? What would happen if we got on the
That's
other
what
side
I've
of the
always wondered. I want like if it's like a resource extraction thing where it's like the richest people can just keep making money and live perfectly, but that doesn't seem like it's like
I don't think so.
Deep enough.
Like lithium, it's just all lithium on the other side of the ice wall. That's where all the lithium is.
I feel like we have a lot of lithium.
One
here.
thing though, I'll tell you this. I'm moon landing 100% faked. 100% at this point.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
It's
oddly suspicious.
It is.
I will give it. I can't say one way or another. Like I want to believe it, but the fact that they've got nothing left from that, like they don't know how they did it because mysteriously everything
like
that got them there is gone.
They had a
deleted.
much bigger budget back then. They were like, well, our budget was much bigger. It's like, well, technology was also advanced like several fold. Since then, you can do much more with much less.
Yeah.
So the fact that we can't replicate, we can't perform, we can't.
Why can't we?
Because of the radiation. There's a radiation belt for one that like is an issue. And other than that, it's just like, well, we don't have the money. And
Well,
like,
yeah, for sure.
Well,
that too.
you have the technology. Technology's improved vastly. Like Elon Musk seems like the kind of dude to be pompous enough to go to the moon.
He wants to colonize Mars.
I don't know why he hasn't.
Because I don't think you can. I don't know if you fucking
Like
can.
you're not allowed, or
well, I just don't know if you physically can go to the moon.
Oh, I get what you mean. Like if yeah.
Because I know when the space race was occurring, Russia
But
was
didn't they send shit to Mars and stuff?
No, they fucking Mars. Like I don't even know why the fuck they talk about Mars. Mars gets to like minus 200 at night. Who the fuck's gonna be living on Mars?
Well, that's the thing. Like the people that they're trying to do that
rovers
don't get
not
to
people.
leave.
No, rovers, yes.
Yeah.
But people, how do people survive Mars?
Yeah, no, I don't know that.
You're in a building, you never leave.
Well, I know you can't, but you're gonna have to fucking.
You have
set
a
up, like...
blood transfusion with a lizard.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. When it gets that cold, you're not
hibernate.
moving
Just
anywhere.
go to hibernation. Moon landing, very suspicious.
It is definitely suspicious.
I believe we've been into the atmosphere and the troposphere. Obviously, we've been above all of that. Like, we have the ISS, but I don't believe the Earth is like a fucking pizza, like a flat, like square pizza or anything. But I don't know. Moon landing, why did we have to beat Russia? Or well, not us, but the U.S. The U.S. needed to beat Russia, right?
Yeah, because of communism.
National pride. You got to beat the commies.
Yeah.
The Red Menace.
It was they needed an enemy.
Oh, they had an enemy. They needed to beat the enemy.
Yeah, but I mean, like they could have just not had the enemy.
They
You know
couldn't
what I
let
mean?
a monkey win. That's what it was.
It's like
the first animal in space, wherever the chimp.
Yeah.
wasn't there already a bunch of satellites in space at that point though?
Oh yeah, but it was the first manned mission. Like
I
they
know,
had to
I'm
put
just
feet
like-
on the ground.
I mean, you have to look at two things. Why do we need to go to the moon? For one, what the fuck is on the moon that we would ever?
Well, that's
need?
what
Nothing.
we didn't know. That's
Exactly.
why we
Well,
had
now
to
we
do
Giant
it.
transformer. Like,
Yeah,
we know that.
now we know that.
That's where the
Thank you,
Nazis are
Michael
hiding.
Bay.
The Nazis are hiding.
The moon
there.
has nothing to offer colonization or anything like that. Neither does Mars, for that matter. Though they say there's water underneath, but there's got to be more suitable planets
Yeah.
within the range, right?
Well, no, there doesn't.
Well, maybe there isn't. But I guess you're fucked because
Yeah.
you're not going to colonize Mars. It's not going to happen. Not
This
before
is
we
a lot
destroy
of-
this planet.
This is a lot of non-murder talk. We can start a whole other podcast.
Canada's conspiracy theories.
Yeah.
Shh, don't tell everybody the name.
But as we were saying
About the Bluebird?
about the Bluebird
Okay, yeah.
and the Wagon Wheel.
You're right. All right, so the Bluebird was the worst fire in Montreal's history since the Laurier Palace Theatre, which is also known as the saddest fire or the Laurier Palace Theatre Crush, where on January 7th, 1927, or January 9th, 1927, a little dyslexic apparently, a fire started during an early afternoon performance. The audience was about 250 children, mostly unattended by an adult since it was the old-timey times, you know? Yeah, the old-timey times. You don't have to watch your kid. Go over there, little Jimmy. 78 victims, all children.
Holy.
And nearly 75 years before that, Montreal had the Great Fire of 1852, which started on July 8th, 1852, and left as many as 10,000 people homeless.
There was even less fire.
So fucking parents would just drop their kids off and just
Well,
fuck
yeah.
off?
Yeah,
That's
they'd
wild.
go to the movie, yeah. I remember my mom saying that she would just take her siblings. She was the oldest, so she would just take her 5 siblings
Yeah,
to the movie.
yeah, I guess that
But like, this
happens,
is right down to like a baby, is what I'm saying.
Yeah,
like,
that's
from
wild. But I guess things were different. Things were like they appeared safer back then, I suppose.
Yeah, probably.
Well, they were also more self-sufficient, self-reliant as well, because you had to be.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah. All right, so that what's it called? Fire.
Before I heard why it was, I was going to be like, why the fuck's it called the saddest fire? Was it like
That was the kids.
it was the kids? It was the kids.
Yeah.
That is a sad fire.
But the Great Fire of 1852 started at a time when the city's recently constructed reservoir was drained and closed for repairs.
No water, huh?
Yeah, right. The first fire broke out at a tavern on St. Lawrence Boulevard. Fanned by strong winds and a hot, dry summer, the fire spread very quickly.
So another bar on fire.
Yeah, right? A lot of bars on
Conspiracy.
fire, yeah.
We're going to talk about that.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about that for
All right,
I
so
was just planting the seed.
Absolutely.
Then there's just some other fires. The Denmark Palace fire in central London, UK, happened relatively the same way. On August 16th, 1980, a Scottish-born patron, John Thompson, thought the bartender overcharged him for his drink. He fought the doorman, got kicked out, found a jerry can outside the bar, hailed a cab, filled it with gas, drove back to the Denmark place, and poured the gasoline through the letterbox, followed by a lit piece of paper. 37 people were also killed there, which is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
At the time, the Sunday Times said that it could be the worst mass murder in British history.
Somebody was copycatting.
Yeah, maybe, right?
Just right to the people that he killed. He had to like make sure he started pulling people out of the fire. It has to be 37.
You come with me.
Saving a
You
bunch.
stay there.
So, as we were saying, and why we're talking about so many conspiracy theories this episode, is that in October 21st, 1963, the Bluebird Cafe in Indianapolis also burnt down, and 5 died. In November 29th, 1970, the Bluebird Cafe in Ottawa, when it started on fire, and 15 died. And then January 1973, 37 died at the Bluebird Cafe in Montreal.
Crazy.
So if you open a fucking cafe or a nightclub and you really want it to burn down, like if you're like, man, I need the insurance money. Just change the name to the Bluebird Cafe.
Someone will come and do it for you.
Just be like, yeah, you know what? We're the Bluebird Cafe now. Please don't burn us down, and it'll happen. But the other two weren't arson. They were faulty electrical or something of the sort.
It's the name is curse. That's what it is.
But you said one may have been tied to extortion?
Well, that was the one in Montreal.
Yeah, so the second Bluebird.
Yeah. Yeah, the one in Montreal, there were theories about that it was like extortion and
they weren't paying up.
Like you said, Montreal was super corrupt at that time.
Yeah,
it was
it still is.
Yeah, I guess it's Montreal. It is what it is.
Montreal.
They just finished like a 2.5-year gang war there.
Oh yeah,
between the Hells Angels and an Italian crime family.
Just living the life.
Yeah.
Did we do Luca Magnotta?
Yep,
we did. Yeah,
I was within the first 10, I think.
That was number 3, I believe. But
yeah, I think you're right.
Second one up.
They hadn't. Yeah, I guess. Like since then, they did that documentary, "Don't Fuck with Cats."
Yeah, I've mentioned that in the little blurb for it.
Yeah.
Which wasn't there at the time, right?
No, it wasn't. No, and I learned some things in that too.
Yeah, right.
That I was like, holy fuck! Like they had like a whole internet like brigade searching for this guy.
Oh
right?
yeah.
Oh yeah.
It was wild.
Yeah. We could definitely. Yeah, I don't think I explained how many people and how intricate that web was, but
I didn't like. I don't think it was quite apparent at the time when it happened that it was that intricate until they dug.
No, it was just like people on the internet kind of found him.
Yeah, exactly.
But when you have the internet mad at you, there's a lot of people looking for you.
Oh, absolutely, and they'll find you.
Yeah.
They will definitely find you. Still crazy that we got that audio from right outside the Bluebird that night.
Impressive.
And it sounded good. It sounded crisp.
Like those were like, if you don't understand, like I don't speak French either, so I don't really understand what they're saying or anything. But like that's basically what it sounds like in Montreal.
How old were they? When
Still
they committed
today.
The crimes.
They were young. Did I say? They were like 19, 20 years old.
They sounded fucking 40. They sounded 40 in those clips, which was really odd.
Yeah, no, I don't. I guess I didn't.
Especially O'Brien. He sounded like a 16-year-old pretending to be a 40-year-old. Who's actually 20. That was the weirdest one.
Smoked 3 packs a day.
Yeah. Laddie. I can't do it.
I'm old as the hills.
Oh,
well, it was a pleasure.
It was.
And
Good
welcome
to be
back.
Welcome back. I was going to say that too. Welcome back.
And
welcome back.
Thank you to Raid Shadow Engines for sponsoring this episode.
Do I have to, just because you said that, do I have to click the
Fuck no, they didn't actually. If they
I don't think they would do an audio podcast. Well, it's hard to show off their podcast.
We'll explain. In Raid Shadow Legends, you get to choose between 17 heroes, and you get to line them up and auto battle. Raid Shadow Legends. Oh, the new legendary hero, Emishness, with the power of fire.
You can be Skeletor now too.
Oh yeah, He-Man.
Yeah,
nice. With He-Man and Skeletor, and the power of Grayskull. Raid Shadow Legends. Oh my fucking god!
Please sponsor us. Don't get killed.
Don't get murdered before the next one, because we'll be back.
We'll be back,
and we'll say welcome back again.
Multiple times.
We'll never say it again. Not even once.